for mainly buyers to help you make it a better, quicker experience to get to better offers, have better interaction with the sellers, but also to make sure that you have all the information in one place to be able to close the deal as when required. Okay, so let's start with the RFP. So as I said, the request for proposal is short description what it actually is. So this is a way for a buyer to ask multiple sellers to provide offers for a very specific product or a range of products that you're looking for. What does it actually mean in practice? In practice, it means that if we go to a category on the platform, let's say solar panels, and we can see that this product has multiple offers. We can, as a buyer, we can go to every single offer and start negotiations, and we can ask about a delivery price, we can ask about additional conditions, about better prices, and so on and so forth. So we can do it one by one. On the other hand, what we could do is we could also create the RFP and ask the sellers to prepare offers for the specific request. There are two ways to start it. So the first is we do it directly from the platform. So here, when we look, there is a banner. We can see, do you need this product? And there's a create the request. So we can do it from here. Alternatively, if you go to your panel and you go to buy, you see the request for proposals with the new tag, and we can go there. So let's go there straight away to see what do we have there. So when you create a request for proposal, there's a short instruction that with all the key steps. So let's go and do it together. So when you start a new proposal, so the first step is you provide some information about the request. So let's say that this is our solar panels installation number 1. Here we go. It will be located in France, and it will be located in just south of Lyon, in Villeurbanne. Here we go, and the address, as always, it's for us internally, just to make sure that we know what it is. Details, just let's put it like this. We can add a description. Again, if you'll be creating multiple requests for proposals, it might be helpful for you. So here you can add anything that you like. Remember that this is not shared with the sellers, so this will be for you. And you can also add attachments. What does it actually mean? You might have very specific requirements. If you have very specific requirements, then please, add them if it's in the form of an attachment, so that you help basically the seller to have the maximum information to be able to respond to your proposal. Once you have all the details in step 1, we just press next steps, and we go to the details in terms of product details. So what are we actually looking for in our proposal? So the way it works, we can for now have a request for solar panels, for inverters, or for batteries. So let's start with solar panels. And with any of those, the first question that you're being asked is, are you looking for a specific product, or you're open to a variety of products? What's the difference? The difference is that if you are actually looking for a specific product, then you can start typing, and you'll see, in this case, I've put Jinko. Let's say we would like the black frame, the N-type 450. So what it actually tells the sellers is that this is the exact product that you're looking for. You can always look at the full specification just to make sure that this is exactly the product you're looking for. And of course, you can download the spec and go into more details to make sure that you're asking for the correct product. Once you selected the product, you can go and select the quantity. You'll see that starts with one piece, but of course, it's supposed to be quite significant. So let's move to containers, and let's say we would like to get proposal for 5 containers. So we see 5 containers is about 2.1 megawatt, and we can define a target price, but of course we don't have to. So let's say, yes, we want a target price, and it will be 0.012. Once we have the details, we can add a new product, or in this case, I've decided to add a product, and I'll do another solar panel, but in this case, I'll be open to a variety of products. So here, the questions are slightly reversed. What does it actually mean is that here we go. I can see some information and some people have trouble hearing. I hope you can hear me well. I can see some other people can, that you will be able to hear us. Okay, all good. Somebody joined late. Don't worry about joining late. We are recording this, so you'll be able to access it at any time. We'll put it on our YouTube channel. You will also put it on our blog. So don't worry about starting slightly late. And thanks all for confirming that you can hear. And hopefully those that are having some trouble, you will hear us very well soon as well. So if you, coming back to this one, so if you select the other way, so you're open to a variety of products, then the key information you have to provide is how much panels power you're looking for. So let's say we would like 3 megawatts, and what are the brands you want to have. So the options are, you can select all manufacturers, you're really brand agnostic. You can say you're only interested in tier 1, so the selection of Q2 Bloomberg list, which is 39 brands, or you can go and select the brands by yourself. So let's say in this case, we're really open to all the brands. Again, you can set the target price, and you can go and define the parameters. So you can say if there is any specific power range you're looking for, or is there anything for the cell type, dimension, color, module type. So you can define those details. So let's say if you want to define some of the parameters, we can say it's 450 to 550, and this way we have a very specific request that will say I'm looking for 3 megawatt, all the brands, and it has to be between 450 to 550. We can also add the color, but we don't have to. We can say, we're interested in full black only, or full black and silver, whichever way you want to do it. And this will get added to your RFP. Of course, you can, in the same way for other categories, if you go to the open to variety of products, you have the parameters which are relevant to the specific category of products. So if you go to inverters, you will have number of phases, dimensions, the number of MPPTs, of course, the power and type. If you go to batteries, then you will have the voltage, capacity, and then if you want a module or a system. So all of it you can define. So in our case, we've selected those two. We've defined the solar panels, a specific product, and an open requirement for 3 megawatts. And now there is a very important question, is because if you create more than one product in your RFP or more than one line item, there's a question, are you looking for complete proposals or you accept partial proposals? If you want a complete proposal, then you say yes. If you're okay with partial proposals, then you keep the no. What does it mean to have a partial proposal? Is that if you have 2 line items, that you might get responses only for one of those. Of course, you still will most likely receive the responses to all of those, but we just want to give the flexibility for the sellers just to make sure to maximize your responses as well. The next question, the next section, so the step 3 is the delivery and pickup details. So if you go to delivery and pickup details, the first question is, do you want the logistics? Like, do you want the seller to give you an offer or not? So if you don't want it, then there's a question less. But if you would like it, then you have to provide, where do you want to deliver to happen? If you don't want it, simply the delivery is not there. By default, the delivery will be to the same address we've provided in the first step, but of course, you can have it delivered, for example, to your warehouse or to a different location, so it's not, it doesn't have to be the same. So let's say we're not interested. What's very important, the next one is, when do you want the deliveries to start from? And how long will they last? And what's the frequency in weeks? So especially the larger the project will be, we all know that not all the goods are required straight away on day one. So we can say, in this case, we would like the goods to be delivered from the 1st of July to, let's say, the end of August, and we want to have it every 2 weeks. So we're quite flexible in this case. And the last one is how much of the final cost you'll be paying upfront when confirming the order. It's important information for the sellers so that they know how to prepare the best offers for you. So you can define it between 0 to 100%. Let me put it to 50% to make sure that it's somewhere in between. Okay. So here we go, and we go to step number 4. And this is the last step, and there's only one type of question here. Here's basically how long you will be waiting for the responses. So what does it mean is that how long the sellers have to prepare the responses for you. So of course the date has to be before the first pickup. So it's not possible the other way. We recommend that you give some time to the sellers. So it suggests not to do it for the same day or next day, but give them a few days. So let's assume that today is the 5th. So we will put it until the end of the week. And you can define how long the offer you would like it to be valid. So if they make you an offer until the 8th, you want the deliveries from 1st of July, we will make it the offer valid for 10 days. Here we go. So when we click next steps, we go to a summary. At any point of time, we can go and change the settings. So this is something that you always have the option to change any of the parameters. And once you're ready, you go to a summary. We can save it as a draft, or we can launch the inquiry. If we launch the inquiry, let's see, here we go. So the proposal has been created successfully. And now if we go again to our buy, the request for proposals, the same screen, we see that we've created one proposal. It's open. It will remain open until the expiry date. So here we go. We can see the 8th of June, so Friday. And we have all the details that we've provided. So all the details are here. And so you see that we have the specific product that we've asked for. And we have the open solar panels for all the brands which are in our database, a large number of brands that you have visible. What's important is this part here, you received and how many offers you have received. For now, it's 0 offers, so we're waiting for submissions. In the meantime, I would like to show you 2 more functionalities. So we said that, here we go. So this is, let's say, test number 2. And this time we would like it to have it delivered to Austria, next to Vienna, and some details. No attachments, just to go quickly. So now let's focus on inverters. And again here, actually we were looking for a very specific product. So we would like a SunGrow, an SG, of course, S6 in this case. So 6, and there's RS and there's RT. We're interested in RT, so we go for a very specific product. And again, here, the number of pieces will define, well, the size of the potential order, and we will change it to container, which means it's 480 pieces. And let's stay with only one product so we can see some additional responses. We will change that this time. We actually would like the logistics to be added. So we want them to share. And we have the pickup. Here we go. This time we'll say, yes, we would like the pickup. We don't want just a delivery. And we want it very fast. So we want it already next week. And given we want it very fast, we want to pay upfront everything. And the responses, given we want it very quick, we will say it's next day, and only there we know we will decide very quickly, so we keep it for 5 days. So we've created a second proposal. So when we're waiting for responses, here we go. Let's see. So we have 2. So now we see the one we've created. Oh, here we go. We can see we already have 1 response. So we have 1 offer that has been submitted. So let's see if we can get more offers in the meantime. And let me show you the last functionality. So this is, let's call it test number 3. This time, let's go in Poland, just outside somewhere of Warsaw. And in this case, we will look for batteries. Again, we're looking for very open. We're looking for open, but actually we want some specific brands. So let's say Govat, Pylon Tech, Solar Edge, and SunGrow. So 4 brands that we've selected, but we don't need that much. We only need 10 kilowatt hours. So, not too many. And we're open to what are the details, but actually the capacity, we already defined there. So let's say it's between 3 and 5. This means that in order to fulfill the requirement of 10, we will need at least 2-3 products. If we go to next step, similar to the previous one, we keep it without changes. And let's say that next week is okay for a response, and the offer will be valid for 10 days. And let's do it end of weekend. Here you go. We'll go to the summary. And in this case, what we'll see is that when you go to summary, remember we were asking for batteries, but only 10 kilowatt hours. And we want to send the criteria. If the request we're creating is small, we are not able to create the RFP. We are not able to send the request to the sellers because the sellers, they have their threshold on what is the size of the RFP that they're expecting, just to make sure it's a tangible business for them. And it doesn't mean that that's it, that there is no alternative for you as a buyer when you're creating this. What's possible in this case is that we direct you directly to the listing of the specific products you've selected. So here we had the 4 brands. And if we click the show details, we will go and it will show us, the listing of the batteries, and we can look for the specific products that we might be interested in. Of course, we can still, edit the request. If we realize it was a little bit too small, we add 2 zeros, and we save the changes. And because we've made let's say, a mistake, and in this case, we were able to create it because we moved from 10 kilowatt hours to basically 1,000, so significantly larger. Okay, now when the date of the submission approaches, we can all the time look at the offers received. If there are any, we can see if it's orange, we're still waiting. When it's green, it's there. And as a reminder, until the date is not expired, so in this case, until Friday, this will be open for sellers to submit their offers. Now, for this one, we can see that we have 3 offers. So let's have a look. Here we go. So what do we see here? What we see here is a response to our request, which means that we have 3 sellers, and every column here is a seller, that they responded to our request of goods that we need in France, with 10 days of price validity from submission, with the delivery schedule, payment schedule, and so on and so forth. So the first column we see here is a reminder what we've asked for. So you can see that we've requested 2 products, one specific, one open, and we have received a number of responses. Do the responses satisfy our needs? Let's have a look straight away. So we see the information about the seller. So we have 3 offers, 2 from sellers located in Poland, 1 in the Netherlands, 1 providing PayPal, and here we go. We actually got a 4th one, which appeared as well. We see if what is the product that they've given us and the price. So for the specific product here we've requested, we can see the prices. The first is on 0.13, 0.10, 0.12, and 0.122, and we see for the open product that they've selected, and they given here that we were open to products. We can see that every seller submitted a very different product. So we can see this one, it's an AEG, and let's not forget that we've asked for a 450 to 550. So we can see that this one responded with 475, this one with 545 solar, and with Ryzen 455. So we can see very different ones with different prices, but we can always see the full cost, and we can see the full specification. Like if we don't know the product, we would like to read more about it, we have all the details attached, and we can review it in any single point of time. When we are interested in one of the offers, or we've decided we're not interested, we can do, as you can see, one of the 2 things. We can reject. If we press reject, this offer is being grayed out. We say it was rejected, and it's just not our focus. We still can negotiate the proposal, but there is a reason why we reject it. If we have not rejected and we're interested, we can simply start the negotiation. So we click the negotiate proposal, and when we click the negotiate proposal, we are moved to the negotiation screen, which is following exactly the same flow that we had defined previously, that we've discussed. And here we have straight away the chat which our sellers will respond to. So if we have more questions, we can simply ask them here straight away. So we see that this gives us the possibility to discuss, but as you can see, we've selected which ones we want to discuss. We can see that we've decided the first one was not interesting, so we've rejected it. This one doesn't have one of the products, so we reject it as well. And we have, sorry, I just went back, and we have the two which are interesting for us. And we can start the second negotiation because we might want to ask, can you provide more details about delivery schedule, for example? We can, any question we might have, we can ask. The bell on the top right, the functionality remains the same. So those are the notifications. So whenever we got a response, we got also a notification. So we can see now that there is a new response to our other proposal. So remember, we've created the SunGrow, the 6 kilowatt, the RT series. And we can see again that we've received 3 different offers. And for test purposes, it's the same sellers, but we can see straight away, we can compare not only the price per piece, in this case between 400 to 390 and 370, but also we can see the shipping. So it's 1500, 1700, and 1800. In a similar way, we can reject if we want to, and we can negotiate the one that we think will be the most attractive to us. Okay, let me pause here for a second and see if there are any questions for the RFP section. Okay, you can see there was some discussion about question about Middle East, which was already answered. At any point of time, as a buyer, you can go back to the list. You'll see what's the status of if you have any draft, if you have any open, canceled, all completed proposals. Okay, so let's go back to the main page. Let's clear, we can mark all those red just to make sure that if something new comes, we will be able to see it. Just a reminder, when you're reviewing the offers, you always see the badges. So remember, we have the trusted seller and we have the super seller badge. If you would like to check what it actually means, you always can check how do we verify sellers, the sub-page, which tells you every seller on sun.store is actually verified. There are no unverified sellers. And if you want to do any, if you're concerned or you want to see what has been done in terms of checking more, then verified seller is the initial level, entry level, but you already have to meet this before you can sell. Trusted seller is the level above, and then super seller is the highest level, not only with types of secure wire transfers, but also the number of transactions and the quality of service they're providing on sun.store. So we want to make sure that there's a high quality of service that is being provided on sun.store. Okay, so the second part was about the delivery by sun.store. So let us go and see what are the different deliveries that we can have. So let's just go here for a second to the catalog, and let's find some. Okay, so we can see a lot of offers, some trusted sellers. Okay, so let's go here to this offer. So when we go to a very specific offer, here we go, it was already loaded. So we can see, and whenever you open it for the first time, you will see also a badge like this, delivered by sun.store. what it means is that there is a possibility for you to have sun.store organize the delivery. First of all, delivery means Incoterms, and we know that Incoterms in many instances can be or overwhelming or unclear. So we've decided to provide a very clear explanation. So at any point of time, you have the About Incoterms subpage. You can go there and you can go in depth of what are different pickup options. On the platform, we have the CIF, which stands for Cost, Insurance, and Freight. We have Xworks, and we have Free Carrier, so the three, let's say, most commonly used ones. And what are the delivery options, and what does it mean? What does it mean in practice? Especially interesting if you are a buyer within European Union buying from somebody from outside European Union, or the opposite if you're a buyer outside European Union and buying from somebody within European Union. So those two scenarios might be worth for you to have a look. The bottom section also explains what's the delivery by sun.store. So the delivery by sun.store, as I started mentioning, there are two options. One is when you have when the seller decides to enable the delivery option for sun.store to organize it. What it means is that the seller will have a much broader reach of routes which are available straight away for delivery. So if you see an offer which has a delivery by sun.store, like this delivery, and there is a delivery by sun.store, it means that sun.store will be organizing the logistics details. But more importantly, it means that you know the price straight away. So you know that if you want to buy, let's say, 6 pallets in this case of this product of what are we on, Q-Sun, you see that the delivery will be 1,324 euros for this specific goods. If you change it to container, you see recalculated to 2,400s. Why it's important? Well, it's very important because you know it straight away, and you can go to buy now. You don't need to do anything more. You can go straight away and buy it. You can still negotiate, but it's an option. Like in all other, you can go and open a discussion with the seller. And the last important thing is that when you do the delivery, and it's a delivery by sun.store, you still pay the seller the full amount. So you pay for the goods and you pay for the transportation, and it's the seller that is paying sun.store for the service. So if we go here, if we go to the bottom and we start to chat with seller, and we send the inquiry, here we go. We can see that it's a delivery which is being organized by sun.store. You have that 2,400 delivery price, and you see the total, which is almost 38,000. At any point of time, you can have your negotiations, but also what's very important, you can see what are the other products of the same seller, so that potentially you might be looking for more products. Having them delivered from one seller usually increases your convenience. So you can always have a look and add a product if you would be interested. Once you have all the details you wanted, as long as you see this badge, the delivered by sun.store, and you have all the details, you can simply proceed to checkout. And when you're at the checkout, there is always the reminder: what are the goods you're buying, what is the price, what is the shipment method. So you've said the delivery by sun.store has been selected, and in this case, the secure wire transfer is not enabled. So the wire transfer option is available. We suggest where possible to use the secure wire transfer. There's no fee for the buyer to use it. There's no fee for the seller as well. But this protects your money if you decide, if there is any incident with the goods, and the money stays in a special account until the goods are being delivered. If you go to proceed to pay, this moves our transaction to the confirmed status. Here we go. So we see that we've decided to buy it. We have the payment order that has been generated, and we can basically at any point of time we can continue the negotiation. But what's the most important, we have the details and we can pay. We can simply pay for the order and the order will be sent. When you will be tracking your negotiation, you will have this section for delivery by sun.store, where our team of logistics will be providing the updates. That there will be the tracking link, there will be proof of delivery, and our logistics team will also provide written updates so that you know what's happening to your order. Once we've confirmed all the details with the sellers, we'll tell you when is the expected pickup time, when is the delivery date, so that we're doing our best to keep you informed at all times. Okay, and now let me focus on the other delivery by sun.store option so that you have the full visibility. So if we go to another offer, you can see that here we go. So there is a seller that would like to have the pickup, but there's also this delivery by sun.store. And in this case, here we go. Okay, so let's go to this chat with seller in this case, and we have the details. And again, we see that there's this delivery by sun.store, and we have the details. Yes, so we see our delivery address. Let's change it. Let's change our delivery address. In this case, we want to have it delivered to Spain. Press it. Oh, I did press it. Sorry. Here we go. So we see straight away that if we have if we change the address, in this case the goods, let's see. So the goods are being sent. Previously we've asked them to be sent to France, but now we want them to be delivered to Spain. So what does it actually mean? Well, it means that we have to pay a little bit more. We have to pay about $250 more, so that we have the goods delivered. And if we go to proceed to checkout, again, we can see what are the payment options. So we have the payment options of, in this case, the PayPal, so a payment gateway, or again, the wire transfer. And if we go proceed to pay, we end up in the same screen of the confirmed transaction. So here we have all the details, and we see that we've confirmed the transaction and we have to make the payment. Okay, let me pause here and see if there are any questions. Okay, let me check on the chat, see if there's anything more. Feel free, guys, to write any question on the chat. Okay, someone is writing, so let me wait a second. Okay, let's wait. Somebody's writing, so let's give the person a chance to finish. Okay. Okay, last 30 seconds. Okay. Okay. Elaborate more on the payment methods and exchange with the seller. And are the prices competitive? Okay, so let me start with the first one. So thanks a lot for the question. So if we go back to the profile, whenever we see a specific offer that we would like to buy, so let's take the 380, the Longi panel. We always will see at the bottom what are the payment methods that this specific seller has available. So, and in this case, we can see only one. So let's just have a seller where we have trusted seller. Oh, here we go. This will have more options. So when we have a super seller, one of the reasons of being a super seller is having more payment options available. So what it means is that we have a secure wire transfer. So a secure wire transfer is a method where we are able to, you as a buyer, you're doing a wire transfer to a specific account which the buyer sends the money to. The seller can see the money is there, but they can't access the goods until there's a confirmation of delivery. So that's why it's secure, because comparing to a normal wire transfer, you don't send it directly to the account of the seller, excuse me. But you send it to a safe account which stays in the middle, and you are until the goods are being delivered and you confirm the delivery, then the goods are being delivered or picked up. Of course, it works for pickup as well. Once this is done, we see that the platform, so sun.store, is releasing the funds. So that's the secure wire transfer. Then payment with PayPal. So PayPal is a external service provider which provides like a payment service. So you can pay from your PayPal account, but also you can pay using a credit or debit card. So if you need access to using your cards, this is a way to do it. And the third option, which I already mentioned, is the classical prepayment wire transfer. So this is the option where you send the money directly to the seller's account, and the seller has access to the money straight away. So hopefully this explains the first bit. And the second bit is the exchange with the seller. So when it comes to the exchange with the seller, so when you press the chat with the seller, you basically start a negotiation and you start an interaction. So you have all the components, so you know what is the product that you're negotiating, what's the quantity, unit price, total price, VAT if applicable, and there is a chat which is being launched between the seller and buyer. So important functionality of this chat, one is that it's an auto translate. So you can write in your native language, and this message will be displayed on the other side with if you are a buyer from Romania, you can write in Romanian. If the seller is from Greece, he will see all the messages in Greek. So you can type anything you want here. There's also a section for attachments. So if required, you can add any files, and this will, this will be an additional possibility for you to exchange details with the seller. This chat remains open throughout the negotiation, and also it remains open with the after the transaction has been completed. The channel remains open so that if required, the buyer and seller can continue to interact. Coming to the next question, so delivery price is competitive. So every day we work to have a broader set of partners to cover more and more destinations, and we do our best to have the most competitive prices on the market, from small packages, if there are small goods being sent, to, of course, dedicated full trucks which go. Because we try to accelerate the speed in terms of for you as a buyer to enable a transaction. That's why we provide the estimation. What's very important for you as a buyer is if you see the delivery by sun.store cost estimation, this is a guaranteed price that you will pay. I think there was a question, who takes liability for additional costs? So this is guaranteed of the price, given a standard palletization size, and no significant changes to the logistics. All the details are always provided in our terms and conditions, which are on our website. You can always download them. But of course, if there's a truck coming to pick up goods from a specific warehouse and suddenly there is a change of the warehouse address, city, country, or date of a pickup, there might be some additional costs that have to be charged to the seller or buyer, depending on the case. Most from what we see on the platform, most of the transactions with delivery by sun.store do not have additional costs, and what you see is the cost. If there are some, then of course we will be connecting with the seller and buyer to make them aware that what was the situation and why they are the additional costs. Then there was a question about is it a buyer to confirm delivery or via transportation service provider? So what the buyer does is the buyer confirms the transaction and leaves the transportation to the other side. So if it's the seller that organizes the transportation, then it's the seller that will organize it. If it's sun.store, it's sun.store. If it's a pickup, then of course it's the buyer that organizes the logistics. So there are three options, and there are no, there's no one very specific solution. So there are all three correct options. Okay, I can see the next question about limitations. If there are any limitations to where sun.store can deliver on behalf of buyer seller. So we don't have any specific limitations where we can provide the delivery by sun.store service. There are some routes which are not automated. So you will see that in some cases where we don't have the automated price, but we can always help, and we have customs clearing agents and partners for the major routes. So for Switzerland, for UK, for Norway, for Ukraine. So we have this experience, and and for us, it's not a limitation that we would be aware of. Okay, in terms of releasing secured wire. Okay, good question, Wojtek. Thank you. Yes, so there are two. The releasing of the funds works in three ways. So one is for small orders up to 3,000 euros. The buyer can press a button at any point of time after the delivery has been made, saying, "Yep, I've received the goods." For larger orders, above 3,000 euros, we require a document. So we require the document that the goods have been released from the warehouse, so the pickup form, or the CMR, so the road consignment document, which says that the goods have been delivered. If there are no comments on the document, if there are no, in both cases, there's a special section saying that there were some issues with the goods. If there is nothing like this, then we release the funds from this escrow account to the seller's account. But we don't do it for larger transactions without the transportation documents. Well, the chat, when it comes to next question, Alicia, the chat negotiations, there's no expiry date, so you can see all the exchanges and you can go back to the seller at any point of time and you can tell, hey, I know the goods have been delivered, but now I have some technical questions, for example, or I would like to buy more. So you can reopen new negotiation, or there were some, damages discovered years later, as you mentioned, which most likely will be something to go to the warranty. So it remains open, and you can still contact the seller. Okay, let me go to just one more example, which I promised to cover before we will wrap it up. So here we go. Okay, so you see that if we open an offer, it's not always the case that there will be some, offer for logistics. In some cases, we don't know we don't have the estimation, and in this case, we will have the information, and we will have to provide a different address. So let's see if there is an estimation for Vienna. Here we go. So if we're able to do it, let's this time show the buy now functionality. So once we have the method of the transportation, we can see that we can go straight away to the checkout. We are interested in one container. If we wanted to have it delivered to the provided address, then in our case is Austria, then we do it for delivered by sun.store. We know the cost, 4,100. We can always pick it up. And in case if we want to pick it up, don't forget there is the very important notion about exporting goods abroad. If you want to export the goods, you do the self-declaration, which means the VAT will be 0%. If you don't do the declaration, we as a platform, we add automatically VAT, because if the goods are being used in the same country where the warehouse is located, then automatically the VAT applies. So let's go back to assuming that we want a delivery, we want a secure transfer, and we confirm the payment. Here we go. So what's very important in this case, I want to show you, you see the countdown here. Even if you do buy now, to your point, Alicia, even if you do the buy now, you still go back to this screen of negotiations, and this remains your major point of interaction with the seller. Where to find it? You can always go to your account to buy, to my purchases, and you will see that this is where you have the list of all your negotiations. You have the ones they are ongoing. The green ones are the RFP. So just as a reminder, we did have quite a few RFP negotiations we've opened, and there are the confirmed ones, including the one we just confirmed with the delivery for 4,100. with the delivery by sun.store. So this is the last example I wanted to show you. And let me have a quick look if there's more questions. Non-confirmed, there's a question about non-confirmed chats. Okay, so the chat, so if we go here, we have buy, we have my purchases, and we have the negotiations. What's very important is that there's no process expiry date of how long the negotiation can stay open, but there are a few things you have to be aware. One is the seller might sell out. So currently this product has 252 pieces. You only want to buy one, but if suddenly we want to buy 200, we've sent a request to change it to 200. Potentially the seller might not have the goods. So we can't control it. The sellers will sell their goods through multiple channels. So please be aware of this one. The second is that the price that you see here is only valid for 3 business days. So after 3 business days, the sellers, the price will automatically change to their default value. So if you've negotiated any discount, it will go back to your to the price list, or simply the seller can increase the price given what's happening on the global markets and so on and so forth. So those are the 2 most important limitations that you should keep in mind when doing when having negotiations. Okay, 10:59 CET time. So let's wrap it up. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to ping us on contact@sun.store. There's a chat on our panel on our platform. You can also contact your business development manager. You know how to find us. And thank you very much for your presence at the sun.store Tips and Tricks new features session. Have a great rest of the day and week.